Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I am bringing you my very first book haul of the year for 2023. This is a good one. So I have still got books that I haven't hauled that I was sent by some lovely friends for Christmas, so that's going to be included in this vlog. We're also going to look at the books I've bought myself, which is actually a few. The subscription box books that I have been receiving this year so far. Obviously I won't be going into full detail. If you do want to know more about them, I do book box battles all the time. I will link the playlist up here for you. Check it out if you want to see what we've got so far this year. I go into full detail about the customizations and the things that we get in the boxes, so make sure you check it out if that's of interest to you. And I also have a pretty big stack of arcs that I have been sent. So let's just crack straight on into it. Let's start with the books I got for Christmas, because obviously that was in December and we are now in March. First up, we start with The Monsters We Feed, which I was gifted from the lovely Lisa, who I run It's All About Fantasy book club with. The Twitter is always linked down below. This is by Thomas Howard Riley, and this, I believe, is a new book in a new set of books that he is writing at the minute. He is the author of We Break Immortals, and I have that on my shelf somewhat. You can probably, actually, yeah, I can just about see it here. It's a chunky boy. I have got it on my list to read at some point this year, when I don't know. But Lisa very kindly gifted me this for Christmas, so thank you very much, Lisa. I believe this is more of like a sci-fi vibe than the fantasy one. The morning before he found the dead body, Jathan Algiven thought he had his whole life just the way he wanted it. He knows his city inside out and doesn't bother carrying a sword, trusting his wit and his fists well enough to get by, even hustling extra coin by ratting out loathsome magi to the law for execution. So this guy seems to be something. The last little bit on this says, will he find the answers he's looking for, or will he only find a monster needing to be fed? So it seems as though we're going to get like a thriller mystery kind of vibe, along with maybe some sci-fi magical elements. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a try. And then next up, I have got from the lovely Abby of Pelennor. She gifted me this, which is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Rosianne A. Brown. I've had this on my radar for absolutely ages, and I believe Abby said that she's read this and she loved it. So this is more of a YA vibe, and I don't read a lot of YA anymore, but I'm still interested in this one. I don't really know a lot about it, but I believe there is a contest in it, and it is an enemies to lover kind of deal where someone is sent to kill the prince, I believe. Yeah, Malik's, when a vengeful spirit abducts Malik's younger sister Nadia as payment to enter the city, Malik strikes a fatal deal. Kill Karina, crown princess of Zarin, in exchange for Nadia's freedom. So we've got some enemies to lovers. We know there's going to be a bit of romance in here. I'm not completely against YA romance. I'm not completely against a little bit of romance. I'm just not a massive romance reader. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go, and I believe there is a sequel out as well already for this. So thank you very much, Abby, for this lovely book. Now, Kate went a little bit overboard. So she got me 4 books for Christmas. The first being Five Survived by Holly Jackson. This is the special edition one that I bought myself from Waterstones, and it's the signed edition. So, and unfortunately the one that Kate bought me came without a dust jacket, so we have rehomed her. Someone else is going to enjoy, because I don't need 2 copies, but I was still very grateful for Kate for buying me this book as well. But she also bought me 3 other books. The first being The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. I've had this on my list for ages. This is a trilogy, I believe, and we are following a con artist, and again, I think there's like a contest or something. Trick her way into the noble house, securing her fortune and her sister's future. So it seems like it's going to be good. I've also seen the cover reveal for this for the next book, so I'm very excited to get into this. I don't know how many books this is going to be, whether it's going to be a trilogy or what, but I mean, look at this spine just alone, like that on your shelf. It's gonna look so good. So yeah, I can't wait to crack into that. She also got me an indie book, which is this one, which is The Last Gifts of the Universe by Rory August. I believe this is like a sci-fi thing where, so the headlines are: a dying universe, a search for answers, a past unravelled, and an adventure at the end of 1 trillion lifetimes. So I'm really excited. This video won't have me telling you a lot of anything about these books if I do not know anything about them, so I apologise for that. But if I read the blurbs of all of these books, we will be here for absolutely ages. So if you wish to check them out, feel free to check them out on my very limited spiel. But yeah, this is an indie, and I believe we're following like 2 or 3 different perspectives. It's very short, so it looks like it's going to be a fun time, so I'm looking forward to reading this. And then finally she got me one that I have been seeing absolutely everywhere because Goldsboro did it, and that is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. So from what I know about this, it seems like a kind of X-Men-y vibe in the sense that what is that? Kind of an X-Men-y vibe, as it's a load of children with special powers and they kind of get collected and put into a school, but set like in olden days. Oh yeah, 1882 in North Edinburgh. So I'm excited to give this a go. I've seen some people love this, I've seen some people hate it, be bored. I believe because it is an older book that there might not be things to my taste, but we'll see. I'm not a massive historical fan, but I am really excited to give this a go, and I've had this on my wish list since I watched it come out. Actually, it's because of Abby of Pelennor gave this, I believe she gave this a really good review, and I wanted to read it as well. So thank you, Kate, for buying me all of these amazing books, and thank you, Abby, for the recommendation. So from there, we will move on to the books I have bought myself. Now, this is currently separated into 3 stacks, which is going to be really fun. So we'll just reach over here and see what we get first. So the first book is The Sad Ghost Club 2. So this is a sequel to The Sad Ghost Club 1, and Volume 3 comes out literally next week, or this week, the 15th of March or the 16th of March, as whenever this video goes up. So this is the sequel. The first one, we are introduced to 2 of our main characters, who are SG and Socks, and they are sad ghosts, essentially. SG seems to be struggling with a lot of anxiety and fear of the future. These ghosts are pitched at what I would say is like high school age, maybe like towards the tail end. So in the UK, maybe like year 10 and 11, where everything seems very full of so much pressure and you're having to make decisions on what your future is going to hold. And then Socks has like a deeper, not very good mental state at all, bless him, but they both are suffering with different things, and they find that they can talk to each other. And yeah, I don't really want to say anything else because there's not a lot to it. Like, it's not a densely filled plot. There is a very good start, middle, end, but it's not very complicated. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with this, because the ending of the first one was really cute, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this will go from there. I'm also hoping that it will be a nice short read to add to my TBR, because shock horror, I'm already behind on that. Next up, we have got this, which is 7 Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb. So this is YA, I believe. I saw maybe Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction read this. I'm not 100% sure, do not quote me on that. But I added it to my wish list because it looked really good, and I know Lisa's got it as well. But the header of this is: Umbrasia is ruled by the disciples of the 7 Faceless Saints, a corrupt city of inequality, a city trapped in an endless war consuming a generation of conscripts. And I think they are going to be battling to uncover corruption and conspiracies that will bring darkness and chaos to the streets of their home. So it sounds good. It is a debut as well. It's not indie, but it is a debut, and I just thought that this would be something different for me to read. Again, I don't read an awful lot of YA, and I have so much of it on my shelves that I need to read, so that is that. Next up, we have got Heart of the Sun Warrior, and this is a very pretty Fairy Loot edition with the stencil sprayed edges and all sorts. This is a sequel to Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I read last year, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, not 100% sure. 4 stars if I remember correctly. So this is the sequel. This is going to be a duology. The first book, we follow our main character who has to be hidden away because of her powers, and one day her powers like flare up, and instead of being discovered, she is forced to flee from her home and has to kind of work as a servant in the House of the Moon. I think she's fleeing like the Celestial Kingdom, and she goes somewhere else and she stumbles upon somewhere and she has to work as a servant, and then she becomes friends with the prince, and there's trials and tribulations, and there's a really annoying love triangle in it which I didn't really enjoy, but we're gonna see where that goes with this one. And hopefully I enjoy it because these books are stunning, and yeah, I did really enjoy the first one, so I'm hoping that the sequel follows. And they're just so pretty. So we'll see how it goes. Another book that I bought myself, the lovely Waterstones edition of Chain of Thorns. Have I read any of these books? No. Have I read any books past the first series of Cassandra Clare books? No. But I own the first 2 in this. It's a normal edition, but it's obviously exclusive because of this bit, and it is stamp signed as well, and it's got end papers and stuff, and I paid like stupid money for the first one, so I'm not doing that again. This is probably going to be the last time that I collect them in this type, because as much as they are very pretty, my god is it stressful to buy them like this. So stressful, because if you miss it, you have to pay stupid money to carry on buying them. I'm not about that life. So I'm hoping I enjoy this series when I eventually get to it. Again, it's very YA, so we'll see. But I don't know anything about this series at all, so I can't tell you anything. But I am glad that I've got that, and I have got the Illumicrate edition coming as well to finish off that series. And I believe they come with like dust jackets or something. I don't know, but I have them coming at some point. Next is a sequel. Infinite Threads, sorry, by Tahereh Mafi. We got the first book, This Woven Kingdom, or something like that, in a book box last year, so the sequel came out, and I couldn't say no to buying it in this edition, because, you know, a normal sequel is just not going to match, and I really hope I like these books, because I now have the 2 that are matching. But we'll see. Again, I can't tell you anything about this, because I have not read either of the books. But I mean, the fact that on the back it does say full of explosive magic, searing romance and heartbreak and betrayal, I'm not sure about the romance, but hopefully everything else pulls through and it's not a massive plot point. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. And then another sequel that I have bought, which I also still haven't, there's a couple of sequels here actually that I haven't read the first book of. Next one being the Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan. I don't know if anyone saw this, or you've been here since like probably last year before, can't remember. I managed to win an arc of Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, and it's like my prized possession. I have it on my arc shelf down here somewhere, behind all of the mess that is behind me that I'm trying to hide, and I still haven't read it. So this is the sequel to that. I have the finished edition up on my shelves as well, which now means I need to move some stuff around because it won't fit. But can't really tell you a lot about this either. I believe the first one is told from the point of view of a female character. That is all I know. It's a very terrible description of the book, but looking forward to giving this one a go too. And then another sequel that I have bought, and I believe this is the last sequel that I have bought that I have not read the first one of, is this one, which is A Restless Truth by Freya Mask. And I had to buy this because this is the Illumicrate edition, and it's printed on acetate. Again, need them to match because I have a problem. I keep telling everyone I don't, but I do know that I do, so we're just gonna keep going. Again, can't tell you anything about this. I know that there's gay romance in the first one, but other than that, not a whole lot. Don't know anything else. I then bought myself a trilogy. Is there a shocker? This is the first book in the Threadlock Trilogy. So this is Voice of War. Then we have got Stones of Light and Bonds of Chaos. All 3 I obviously now own. They are indie. I'm very excited to be owning them. All of them have this lovely little, like they all have like a motif kind of thing on the front cover, and all of these that I own are signed and dated, which is very cool. So I ran on about this series forever. This was my top series of 2022. All of these books were 5 stars for me. I absolutely adored them. Again, the arc of the third book, Bonds of Chaos, is on my prized possession shelf down there, and I loved it. I thought this series is amazing. I love the magic system, I love the relationships, the family, the love, the found family, the grief, the trials, everything. Loved it. So good. Really, really enjoyed it. And if there are any other special editions that come out of this series, I will look to buy them because I have a problem. But I'm okay with that. Now, another series that I have purchased is the Illumicrate editions of Ninth House and Hellbent, because the cover of Hellbent was terrifying. I did not like it, but I love these covers, and they're so like chill. There's nothing on the front, and they both have foiling. I'm not going to show you both at the minute, but they both have foiling underneath the dust jacket of the animal on the front, but in like bone form. Amazing. Loved the first book. I gave it 5 stars. I'm not sure if I will give it 5 stars again, but I do plan to reread it. I'm hoping that I still feel the same way about it once I do a reread, so I can go on to Hellbent, because it has been probably a few years since I've read Ninth House. Really enjoyed it. This is also the series that had like some backlash on the printing, on the spread edges. They are not the best ones that I've ever received, but I'm just happy that I have covers that match. They're both spread edges, and they're going to look absolutely stunning on my shelf. So that is all that I am massively bothered about. I have 3 more books that I've bought myself. The next one being, of course, Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, which is the prequel to Priory of the Orange Tree. I've read Priory twice now. 4 stars both times, I believe. The ending is quite rushed. There's a lot of build up to something that only lasts for, you know, less than 100 pages, probably even less than that. And I enjoyed it. There are points of the book that I'm not a massive fan of. There is a romance in it which I'm like, is it really needed? But that's just me. So I'm really excited to give this a go. I believe this is like 850 pages or something absolutely bonkers. Oh no, it's more than that. Oh wait, maybe it's not, because that was a glossary. What are we on? Oh, I've got special content. 800 and... hang on. 862 pages. And the back of it is just, I don't even know what. Which is just bonkers. Yeah, I'm excited to actually be finally getting to this at some point this year. It is a chunker, but it'll definitely make my monthly pages for that month be so good. I might just need to read this for a month, because I don't think I'll be able to read anything else at the same time. Then I bought Death Note Volume 1, because I own Death Note Volume 2 in the black editions, but it's been very hard to find Volume 1, and when I finally found Volume 1, I bought Volume 1, because otherwise I just can't... I can't read Volume 2 without reading Volume 1. This is manga, and it's about... I believe the boy finds like a notebook, and if your name gets written in it, then you die. Or they die. So I'm excited to see what that is actually about, because I feel like it's something that I might enjoy. And I want to try manga, but I just haven't got around to trying it yet, you know? And then the final book that I've bought myself is this one, which is The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso. I really like this cover. This was a complete cover buy, if I'm honest. I keep seeing this in Waterstones, and I thought, why not? I have quite a few points to spend. Let's try it. And I obviously haven't picked it up yet, but I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. And this is the first in an epic fantasy trilogy filled with intrigue, ambition, betrayal, and broken magic. So I'm excited to see what this is about. It's also following a female character, I believe, which I quite like, obviously being female. But I find that a lot of fantasy, a lot of high fantasy, especially the stuff that I have read, follows male characters. And it's quite nice to see us following a female character. So I'm excited to see how I feel about that one. So there's all the books that I bought myself. Now let's do the subscription books. So first up, from Fairy Loot Adult, I believe, January, we have The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshan Chokshi. Again, if you want to see all of these being opened, most of them are in my book box battles. This is like a Bluebeard kind of retelling, I believe, where this wife, or this woman, this gent, fall in love, and she says to him that as long as he doesn't like dig into her past, they won't have any issues, and that becomes very hard to do when she has to go home to deal with the death of a friend or a childhood friend. So I'm really excited to do that. It seems like a mystery thrillery kind of vibe, and I'm hoping that I will get along with it, but we will see. Then we've got God Killer. This is such a stunning edition by Hannah Kanna. Now this is following our main, well, this is actually following a few different perspectives, one of them being a god killer, and that is someone who is hired to kill gods, and in order to kill a god in this world you have to destroy their shrine and everything that is kind of tying them to this world, because that is the only way to get rid of them. And she stumbles across this young lass who is actually tied to a god, and unfortunately they then get stuck together and they all have to go on this massive, I'm guessing, adventure to try and figure this out. I am actually currently reading this and I am 66 pages in. We have met quite a few characters, but we still have got no like advancing plot, so I'm hoping that it picks up soon and that I enjoy it more, because I'm sure I will. But I don't know. That was a Lumicrate, I think. Yes, and then Spice Road was Fairy Loot, I think. Does it say? Yeah, so this was Fairy Loot also for January. So yeah, God Killer was January, a Lumicrate. So this is Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim, and this is to do with magic and spice, funnily enough. Our main character is someone, I don't know. Imani is our main character, and she so our main character is Imani, and her brother was discovered stealing their nation's coveted spice, and disappeared into the deadly forbidden wastes, and leaving Imani's reputation in tatters. But when she discovers that her brother may be alive, desperate to find him, she joins the mission sent to hunt him down, and she is accompanied by a powerful beast seer who enthralls and enrages her in equal measure. So there's obviously going to be a bit of love-hate romance in this, and we will see how that pans out. But this is another book that was actually on my radar, and I'm looking forward to giving it a try because I feel like I might enjoy it, but we'll see. Then my very first locked library book for February was this one, which is The Thorns Remain by J.J.A. Harwood, and this is to do with the Fae. And I have taken out the subscription for 3 months to see if I enjoy the books that are coming. I know the next one is like a Valkyrie inspired Norse goddy kind of vibe, so I feel like I might enjoy that one more than this one, but I thought I'd give it a try because I am going to be cancelling my adult Fairy Loot, or I keep thinking I'm going to. We'll see if that actually does pan out how I plan for it to pan out, but I'm giving this a go, and I need to read this and I need to read the next one to actually see how I get on with the books and if I will enjoy them, because there is no point getting a subscription box where I don't actually enjoy the books and I don't actually read them, because that is the main point. Now, the next books are the February books for Illumicrate, Fairy Loot and Fairy Loot Adult. If you haven't watched my book box battles or you don't want to be spoiled, feel free to skip ahead. But the first one is this one, which is City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaeffer. I have never heard of this author. Apparently she has written other things. I do not know what. I wonder if there's actually a list in here. Usually there is like a list of other books that they have written. No, there is not. So in this world, if you fall asleep, you will wake up as like the thing you fear the most, and our main character is terrified of that happening to her. And she is teaming up with a nightmare boy who might eat her, I believe. So it's interesting. She has to find her way back to Newham and uncover the sinister truth behind the attack, even as the horrors of her past loom ominously near. There are many forms of pterodactyls on this cover, and I'm interested to find out why. That was Fairy Loot YA. And we've got a Lumicrate, and this book is Song of Silver, Flame Like Night by Amelie Wen Zhao, and this one is stunning and also on my radar. In a fallen kingdom, one girl carries the key to discovering the secrets of her nation's past and unleashing the demons that sleep at its heart. So this sounds really good, I think. Again, another one that was on my radar, so I didn't pre-order it because I figured that a Lumicrate might do a copy of this. And I'm excited to give this a go as well. I do think I'm going to enjoy it, but we'll have to see. And then finally, the last book for the February Book Box Battles books. Yeah, that's right. Fairy Loot Adult is this one, The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty, or S.A. Chakraborty if you have read the City of Brass trilogy. I kept my adult Fairy Loot subscription when I saw that this book was announced to be the next one that was coming, and I'm also keeping it for the April book because I believe that is The Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, so I'm excited to see what they do with that book. But this one says, the smuggler, the pirate, the blasphemer, serving up human hearts for her sea beast husband, and the sorceress, for she must be a sorceress because no female could sail a ship so deftly without the use of forbidden magics. Traders along our shores warn against speaking her name as though she is a djinn that might be summoned. I'm certain you have heard talk of her. And I believe our main character, Amina, has a job as a pirate, and then she's offered a job that no bandit can refuse. And then obviously that job then becomes a trouble for her. So I'm excited to dive into this and see what that is like. I'm actually very excited for that. I think out of all of the books, that is the one that I'm most excited for. So we'll just see how that goes. And now we are finally into the final stack of this video, which is my ARCs that I've been very kindly sent. So these ARCs have been sent by a few different publishers, plus some indie authors, so let's just get straight on in. The first one, which proper shocked me, is this one, which is Fractural Noise by Christopher Paolini. No words. So this is the prequel to Sleep in a Sea of Stars, and I'm very excited for this. I was sent this, I think, by Black Crow PR, because I do remember requesting it, and I'm so excited. This is set 23 years before everything that takes place in To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, and I'm so excited. It's also a lot smaller than I thought. I didn't actually realise like how small it was going to be. I kind of expected something the same as the prequel to Priory, where it's like 800 pages of big book, but no, this is actually a small, decent size, so I'm excited to be giving this a go. This does come out on the 16th of May, so I will be reading this in April. Then we have got one of my most anticipated books of the year, and that is this one, which is The Judas Blossom by Stephen Orion, who is the author to many series. He has written 2 trilogies, one that starts with Battle Mage, and I think the next one starts with Mageborn, and then he wrote also The Coward and the Warrior, which I read last year and really loved. Again, that arc is prized possession. I got him to sign it when I met him, and I'm kind of hoping to do the same with this one. So this is the first in a Persian fantasy series. I'm not too sure how many books are going to be in this series, but this is publishing on the 11th of July, and again, I'll be reading this in April and hopefully be able to put some content about this out for you guys. We're not allowed to do reviews until after the 11th of May, so hopefully I'll be able to read this in April, and maybe I'll do a vlog or something for it, for like the release date. I'm not too sure, but excited to give this one a go. Another book from Angry Robot is this one, which is The Cleaving by Juliet McKenna, and this is released on the 11th of April. Yeah, so I will be reading this at the end of this month, and I'm very excited. This is a retelling, or like a feminist take on the Arthurian legends, featuring Nimue, Igraine, Morgana and Guinevere, and I'm very excited. There are trigger warnings for this, so when it comes out, make sure you check them out. I believe they should be listed on Goodreads, I think, but they did mention them in an email somewhere. So I'm excited to give that a go. I do actually quite like an Arthurian retelling, if I'm completely honest. As long as it's not overly complicated like I found Legendborn to be. But I'm looking forward to the sequel, Bloodmarked, because I feel like that might pull all the elements together. I don't know, we'll see. And then the final one that I got off a publisher is this one, The Last One to Fall by Gabriella Lepore, which is the author of This Is Why We Lie, and this is a mystery thriller YA book. 6 friends, 5 suspects, 1 murder. So this is perfect for fans of Holly Jackson and Jessica Goodman. Readers will be on the edge of their seats as they face twist after twist until they reach the shocking ending. So I'm really looking forward to this, and this one comes out on the 9th of May. So again, hoping to read this one in April. Now I have 2 books left in this haul, and they are both indies, and I am very excited for both of them. The first one being this, which is Mystic Reborn by Jeffrey Spate. So this is the sequel to Paladin Unbound. I'm currently rereading Paladin Unbound, ready to dive into this, and this comes out I believe in April, like at the very start of April maybe. So I am planning to read this month, and I will get to it very, very soon. Paladin follows our main character Umra, who is half orc, and he goes to petition for a contract as he is the head of like a mercenary clan, and by gosh does he go through it in that book. He teams up with some unlikely people, he loses a lot of people, he just goes through it, and you proper feel for him. So I'm very excited to be diving back into the world with my reread and the sequel. And then the final book of this lovely haul is none other than Godfrey Under Siege by Mark Howard, which is the sequel to Godfrey's Crusade. I am not 100%, I think this might already be out if I'm completely honest, but I do plan on reading this either this month or in April, and I need to read the first book as well, and I plan to read them back to back. Is my hope. So like I can't tell you a lot about Godfrey's Crusade because I have not read it, but I do know that Mark is a lovely human. He very kindly sent me both books, and I'm so excited to give them a go. They are fantasy, and that is probably all I can tell you right now, if I'm honest. So there you go. There is my first haul of 2023, featuring 34 books, which I think is a fair collection of books over the first 2.5 months of the year. I'm going to try and do these every 3 months. So the next one should be June, but there will be one again in August if I do Vida 2, but that's still in the works. So I'm very, very excited for that. And I've got so many good things to read now, which is also kind of terrifying because my TBR is growing bigger than I am. But that is everything for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a huge thumbs up. Really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment below of the most recent book that you have purchased or been gifted, whichever. Let me know. And if you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me the any book emoji, because there's a lot of books here. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I am uploading every Wednesday and Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that's everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.